All right, team, huddle up. This is our mission briefing for the department's rollout of NFPA 1580. We're kicking off phase 1, what we're calling the crawl phase. Right now, our only objective is to lay out the very first critical and actionable steps to get this done. And listen, this isn't just another policy update. Think of this as a core operational mission. This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of why we're doing this. This whole mission is about protecting ourselves, protecting our families, and protecting our careers. It's about making damn sure that every single piece of gear we rely on and our own health is mission ready every single time those tones drop. Okay, let's get into the commander's intent. It is absolutely crucial that every single one of us understands the why behind this push. This isn't about checking off a box on some form. It's about a fundamental shift in how we approach our health, our safety, and our readiness for the long haul. Now, pay close attention to this because it really shows the core change. We're moving away from the old NFPA 1582, that simple one-size-fits-all 12-met pass or failed line in the sand. The new standard, NFPA 1580, is just smarter. It uses an agent sex-based percentile standard. Now, this is not about making things easier. It's about being way more precise and really focusing on our long-term health by seeing how we stack up against our actual peers. And let me be crystal clear about this part. Compliance is not optional. You have to understand, in a court of law, these NFPA standards are used to define the standard of care. If something goes round out there, a department's failure to follow these standards can be, and it has been, cited as proof of negligence or even reckless disregard. This protects you, and it protects the department, period. So let's move on to the tactical execution. This is our 90-day crawl phase. These are our immediate, time-bound objectives. Everyone needs to know exactly what their role is in making this happen. Here's the roadmap for the next 90 days. We've broken it down into 3 simple sprints. In the first 30 days, we're going to tackle policy and inventory. At 60 days, our focus shifts to personnel and assessment. And by day 90, we start integrating the clinical and infrastructure changes. It's simple, it's clear, and it's totally achievable. Okay, job 1, our 30-day objective is a full department-wide inventory of all personal protective equipment and SCBA. What does that mean? It means every single member physically puts their hands on their gear, checks the manufacturing date on every component, helmet, coat, pants, boots, you name it, and reports it up the chain of command. And if you're wondering why that inventory is so critical, look no further. This chart shows the mandatory retirement dates for our gear under the new NFPA 1850 standard. You can see right here, an SCBA pack made to the 2013 edition has a 15-year service life. That's not a suggestion, folks. It is a non-negotiable life safety check. And that's exactly why this inventory is our first priority. All right, at the 60-day mark, we shift our focus to personnel. Command is going to officially appoint a PPC manager and a PPC technician. These folks will then get enrolled in pro-board accredited certification courses to make sure they are the qualified experts we need them to be. Their very first task will be to conduct a baseline risk assessment on all the gear we currently have in service. Then, finally, at 90 days, we start to integrate these changes. Our annual medical physicals, they're going to transition over to the new percentile-based system. We're also going to complete a full audit of every single station to ensure we have proper hot and cold zone separation for decon. And out of that audit, we'll drop a capital improvement plan to fix anything that needs fixing. Okay, let's talk hazards. Every operation has risks, and this rollout is no different. We need to get out ahead of the cultural pitfalls that could totally compromise this mission's success. We got to tackle them head on. We all know this one, right? The salty tradition that says dirty, beat-up gear is some kind of badge of honor. We have to be honest with ourselves and just call this what it is, a cultural hazard that we need to actively, and I mean actively, mitigate. So, how do we fight it? Well, we reframe the entire conversation. This isn't about how tough you are. It's about career longevity. It's about being around for your family 20 years from now. The strategy here is to use peer-to-peer leadership. You're going to see respected, experienced officers leading on-scene decon and championing clean gear. That's how we'll lead this change. All right, the next piece of pushback we're probably going to hear is that this new percentile system is a softening of the standard. The argument that we're moving away from one job, one standard. But here's the fact. The clinical data actually shows the exact opposite. This new system is more rigorous when it comes to identifying underlying cardiac risks, especially in our younger members, risks that the old, blunt 12-met standard often missed completely. It's a smarter, much more preventative tool. And of course, there's the big one. We can't afford this. It's a budget issue. This is, hands down, the most common reason given for not getting in compliance. So here's the reality. FEMA's Assistance to Firefighters Grant, the AFG, explicitly lists NFPA 1580 and 1850 compliance as a high priority for funding. Let me be perfectly clear. We cannot cite the budget as an excuse if we haven't aggressively gone after the federal money that's available specifically for this purpose. Now, let's define what mission success looks like. We need to know what done right means. These are our clear, measurable, key performance indicators for this first phase. First KPI, 100%. The goal is that 100% of all active frontline PPE is within its mandatory 10-year service life. There is zero tolerance for expired gear on the fireground. None. Second KPI, the number is 2. Every single set of turnout gear is going to get a minimum of 2 advanced cleanings per year, or after any incident with significant smoke exposure. This sets a clear, enforceable standard for decon. And this is absolutely non-negotiable. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Success requires a comprehensive digital record for every piece of PPE we own, tracking its entire life cycle, every single exposure, and all of our medical surveillance data. The old paper logs just aren't going to cut it anymore. This entire 90-day crawl phase is about building the foundation for what comes next. Successfully completing these tasks keeps our momentum going and gets us ready for the next phase of implementation, the walk. And that walk phase is where we'll really start to see the payoff from all this initial work. It's going to include our first round of the new 1580 compliant physicals, department-wide skills drills, scheduling the installation of new station extractors, and getting all of our frontline gear through its first advanced cleaning and inspection cycle. So I'll leave you with this. Your training, your experience, your courage, none of that matters if you're not healthy enough to be here. Your health is the single most important tool you bring to this job. The question is it mission ready? Let's get to work.